Welcome back to Biggie Outdoor Radio once again at the top of a new hour. Welcoming those just tuning in for our last hour and thanking those who have been following us so far today. We're headed into our final hour here in the great outdoor broadcast with Biggie and Brandon. This hour is brought to you by the great folks at Expedition Archery. You can look them up at expeditionarchery.com and find them also on Facebook under Expedition Archery, spelled with an X. They're the makers of the Eccentric and the Perfection bows. If you're looking for a quality new bow and want performance, smooth shooting, balance, and dependability, Expedition has all the other bows beat hands down. You have to shoot one for yourself to see what we're talking about. So do yourself a favor and check out the Expedition bow. Now, stay tuned for more Big E Outdoor Radio. Check out Adrenaline Hydrographics in a Cedar Creek Mall. Put a custom finish on anything you want. Choose from over 1,000 different patterns and colors, including camos, wood grains, carbon fibers, and custom prints like flames, skull patterns, and flag scenes. They can customize your Harley parts, baseball helmets, and hard hats, guns and gun stocks, fishing poles, deer skulls, coat racks, you name it. Pretty much anything you can paint, they can put a custom pattern on for you. Adrenaline Hydrographics in the Cedar Creek Mall.
And we're back. Biggie and Brandon, live as we can be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we got a good caller on the line here. We got
biscuits and gravy. Oh, I mean Russ.
we got, yeah.
Is it live or is it Memorex?
Yeah.
Did you say good caller?
Yes. We haven't talked to you in a long time.
We've been busy, man. I got kids in college and
You do?
hunting season's on top of us now.
Are they all yours, or did your wife just say they're yours?
She says they're mine. They're all three too pretty to be really mine, but I make the payments on them.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know how that goes. Yeah.
I make the payments on them, so I reckon they'll be mine for a while.
Are they all in college now?
One's at Clemson, and then the middle one's 14, and the youngest one's 13.
Lord Almighty, that youngest one is 13 already.
Yep.
Wow. Good Lord Almighty.
She's as tall as me, which that's pretty tall.
Yeah, right.
Well, then I say tall as you.
About 4.5 feet.
Yeah, she's at least 4.5 feet. We're right under dwarfism, I think.
That would be over.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim, he can here in the studio. He can relate to that. He's kind of fits right in with that.
So he's vertically challenged also. Huh?
A little bit, yeah.
That, and I am, for some odd reason, wound up with the dinosaur arms.
Oh,
T-Rex. T-Rex hands. He's got T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's the northern version of Russ. Is what he is. You guys. If you put a camouflage visor cap on him and a pair of shorts, you guys would almost be brothers.
It has been the weather's been so awful down here. I cannot believe it broke today.
Huh.
Really?
It is. Oh, it's been terrible, dude. It's been 90-something degrees forever and ever and ever. You know, so we've done nothing but fight rainstorms in the afternoon and mosquitoes all day long.
Yeah. I remember when we lived down that way, and now that's bad for guys with maple syrup for blood.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not good at all. But today's a good morning though, and then like I said, archery season starts Tuesday, so everybody here's all vamped up, ready to go. Everybody and their brother.
That's good. Now you can work on archery instead of your soccer moves.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with that whole soccer thing, man. I've been over when you bend over to put your shoe on and run out of breath, it's time for a diet.
Oh,
I hear you.
Oh man, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, we got another buddy down there that him and his boy, they got some good soccer moves, don't they? Yeah, Logan.
Yeah, they watch my kid. He's a paint eater.
Yeah, I mean, so
hey, we were actually talking about you the one day, and we kind of saved this for you. Didn't you have a buddy down there that had bought a brand new gun safe one time, and
yes, he did. He bought a gun safe, and he was playing with his. Do I need to tell this story?
Yeah. We'd like to hear that. That's a good one.
Well, before we start, nobody was hurt in the filming of this.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna, and I won't say his name, Dan Ray. But he had got a gun safe. He was working on his deck. It was pretty hot, so he decided he was gonna have a few cold beers. So he drinks a couple beers, and wife gets home, sun goes down, and he decided the gun safe was big, and his wife is very tiny. I mean, she's very, very petite. So he talks her into getting into the safe because he's gonna see how much room's in there.
I mean, obviously you got to do that. Yeah.
Oh yes, but she gets in the safe. Well, he shuts the door. He talks her into letting him shut the door. Well, he thinks it's going to be funny since he's been drinking to act like he can't open the safe and try to scare her. Okay. Well, she's got asthma on top of all this, so he punches the code in the safe wrong 3 times, and it shuts the safe down. So now she's stuck in the safe, hollering at him to call the cops. He don't want to call the cops because he's afraid they're going to tear up his brand new safe. So he tells her to brace herself. He's going to push the safe over, unbolt the bottom. He yanks all the ice cube. You know the hose that goes to an ice cube maker out of the back of your refrigerator?
Yeah.
He yanks all that out of his brand new refrigerator, and he's going to shove that up through the hole and then get her nebulizer and try to squirt the nebulizer up through the tube so she can get her asthma medicine. So he said the safe was too heavy to tip over. So then he decides he's going to use his 12-volt DeWalt drill to drill holes in the safe, which didn't work out very good. So he eventually, I guess he just came to the conclusion he was not getting her out of there. So he tried to get her to scratch a note inside the safe to tell the cops it was an accident and she died. Needless to say, though, the guy he got the safe from me, I think he showed up about 30 minutes later, and the safe had a manual shutdown for 45 minutes. So at 45 minutes, he got his buddy got the safe open, the guy he got it from, and then I think I had to take him to the hospital from claw marks to the face and neck. So that's the story of Dan locking his wife, and I've told that story so much, but I laugh. It still gets me tickled every time I think about it.
Oh yeah, you got lots of good stories about Dan. Actually, he's the same one that tipped over in the tree stand, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah.
Is he still married?
I finally, he's a grandpa now.
Oh wow.
He's got 3 grandkids, but he
The
we were
story,
hunting.
the saga continues.
Oh yeah, and you know what's bad is he don't hurt. He never hurt anybody else, but it's always himself. He's dangerous to himself. He's not dangerous to other people. I can't figure it out. But this year, he thought it would be a good idea to put a ladder on top of a flatbed and then push a box. We were building a box stand, but he thought the ladder was not going to move on the flatbed as he pushed the box stand up on top of the platform. So that didn't work out too well either. He looked like Don Beebe when he used to catch the football and get knocked out. He was just laying on the ground. I was hollering at him. I was like, take your clothes off. Take your clothes off. He's like, I'm knocked out. I'm not drunk. So, he is definitely a danger to himself. He's a good hunting buddy though, man. He's a good friend of mine. But Lord, we have got some stories over the years with him.
Oh man.
Is he a good friend as Cheney?
No, probably not that good, but he's close.
Dick Cheney going hunting with his friends.
Yeah, but Dick Cheney shoots other people. Ray would shoot himself, something, survive it, and then get hit by a car walking out in the road. That's Dan.
Oh man.
Yes.
So everything. How's the weather up there?
It just cooled down. It's our opener weekend up here for bow hunting, and it just cooled down. It's like somebody snapped their fingers, and it's like, what was it, down in the 50s up here?
Yeah.
I mean, it's real nice. I mean, it's good sleeping weather up here now. You can leave the windows open and
Yeah,
It was nice up here this morning, but
Got a high of like
got-
68 today.
I think we're going to be about 75. Well, I think we might grill a few steaks and cook out a little bit later on once everybody gets woke up. But we've got, they changed the laws down here now. They've changed the turkey hunting. They've changed the baiting laws because half of our state was governed by the DNR and the other half was legislation. So they've now, gun season still opens August the 15th.
Uh-huh.
So if anybody wants to come down and get malaria and shoot a deer in velvet, come on.
Oh, man. I remember, actually, it's been 8 years, Russ, since I went out there and went hunting with you.
It's been a long time, dude.
Yeah, that's the first time I experienced a hog coming in on the stand. I was like, what in the world is that? You're like, oh, it's just a hog.
It's just a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're eat up with them now, dude. We're completely covered up. At first, they were very concentrated towards the lower part of the state, and it was more those thin-haired feral hogs that had got out over the years and bred.
Yeah.
And then up here, the population started growing, and it is hammered, covered up everywhere you hunt. They're all over South Carolina, from the mountains all the way to the coast. And up here we have those long-haired, like German or Russian boars.
Yeah.
So those thin-haired, the black and white spotted pigs, you always see them shooting in Texas and,
Yep.
South Georgia. There's a few of those. Those are more in the lower part of the state. But this is, everybody who wants to be a hog hunter in South Carolina and has dogs is a hog hunter.
One thing I remember was going out there with you and looking around and thinking, you better drop the deer right here because once he heads into them briars, I'm not tracking.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yep. We have smart deer here, and you've hunted all over. I've hunted all over the place from Kansas to Wyoming to Canada, Illinois, Virginia, and by far these are the smartest deer I've hunted are here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because they're just born skittish, eating blackberries, kudzu, and poison ivy.
Yeah. That's actually the first time I ever got poison ivy. I used to be able to roll around it, and then once I went hunting with you down there, I got poison ivy so bad. Now I get anywhere near it and I get poison ivy. So I blame you for that.
And it's been bad this year. When you start hanging stands, you're starting on food plots and tilling and spraying, and you start that mess at the very beginning of summertime or the end of turkey season, and then by the time you're getting ready to start really hanging stands, the poison ivy and the poison oak are just full bore, So you better have some calamine lotion with you. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Hey, Russ, you mind hanging on for one more segment here? We're coming up on a commercial here.
Yeah, I'm good, dude.
All right, brother. Well, we're going to roll on to a commercial here, folks, and we'll be back here and listen to more of the stories about Russ and his hunting buddies down south.
There you go.
Attention, Central Wisconsin. There's a huge hail sale going on right now at Stark GM of Merrill. There's just a little damage to some cars on our lot, but there's big savings to be had throughout. Come take a look at all you get. Here are just a couple examples. How about a 2014 GM certified Chevy Cruze for just $11,988 or $188 a month with no down payment? That's right, $11,988 or $188 a month with zero down. Or choose from a selection of 2014 GM certified Impalas. Yes, just $11,988 or $188 a month with no down payment. So come to Stark GM of Merrill or visit us at www.starkmerrill.com and enjoy huge hail savings on over 150 vehicles in stock. Hurry! First come, first served. Plus tax, title, license, and fees. Selling price $11,988. $188 a month. Zero down. 72 months at 2.99% for well-qualified buyers. Only while supplies last. See dealer for details.
Looking for the best burger in town? Check out Brews Brothers in Weston, just off Highway 29 at Camp Phillips exit. Voted best burger in Wausau 2014 and 2015. Fresh burger ground daily from country fresh meats, fresh buns, and 35 draft beers on tap from local and regional breweries. Enjoy fresh cut fries and chips made to order. Open 11 to 11 Sunday through Thursday and 11 to midnight Friday and Saturday. Brews Brothers, Camp Phillips Road in Weston.
Ski's Meat Market in Wausau is the area's premier source of quality meat. Our brats are handmade in-house in small batches with no preservatives or MSG. We only buy the freshest seafood, like this line-caught Alaskan salmon. Our 1855 Black Angus steaks are hand-cut and aged to perfection. We also carry over 100 varieties of Wisconsin artisan cheese, as well as an eclectic collection of hard-to-find grocery items. Ski's Meat Market on Rib Mountain Drive, right behind Dunkin' Donuts.
Our quality is worth the stop.
Hey, we're back, I guess. You still there, Russ?
Yeah, I'm here, dude.
Hey, we're reminiscing on a lot of things, and while we're doing that, do you remember talking about hunting buddies and stuff? Do you remember being out west and hunting with a fella and the truck caught on fire and having somebody take off?
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember a fist fight almost within the first 5 minutes that we got there. We can get it on.
Oh, we can get along.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a good trip, though. That was my first real trip out west to see everything. Yeah. I don't know how many. I don't know what it's like up there where you guys are at, but it was a treat for me to get to go and kind of see what the whole West thing was about. But
well,
they still make fun of me for not getting on an airplane and flying out there.
Let me tell you, we go on a lot of out west hunting trips, and I've never been on one that was that crazy.
No, I've never been, and it's just, they say women are drama, but if you want to get into some drama, go to hunting camp or go on a hunt with about 10 guys. You will see a flat out soap opera.
Yeah, that was different. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. We've gone on a lot.
We kind of did. Me, you, and Brandon kind of did our own thing. I think that helped us a lot.
Yeah.
It was just us getting to go do our own thing and not really be cooped up around the other 45 people.
Yeah, that's right. We had fun, and like I said, we still laugh to this day about Brandon bailing out of the truck, being halfway up the mountain and leaving everybody.
It was we were
every man for himself.
Exactly. Yeah, the truck was still moving, and I was running. Man, I was out of there. Yeah. Do you smell that?
Brandon was going to get help for everybody else.
Yeah. You smell that, Brandon? Do you smell that? Brandon's gone. He's out of here.
Brandon.
Come back.
Yeah, that was a good trip. That was a really good trip, man.
It was interesting, anyhow. I tell you that. But
I'm guessing y'all don't miss the South too much.
Well, there's times of it that we do and times of it that we don't.
We're getting into the time of year where we're going to miss the South.
I don't deal well with the real heavy heat. So that kind of part, I don't. There's some of the people down there that I do and things like that. Well, I guess this is always home. It's one of them things when you grow up and a part of the country is your home and that's where your roots are. It's always your home. But the cold winters in Wisconsin, as you get older, especially when you broke a lot of bones like I have in the military, and I don't know how many bones your body has, but I broke 27 or 28 of them, and
you broke a bunch of them.
Yeah. And and I've had 7 major concussions. So the cold winters kind of hurt.
Yeah, when it gets
Lord of mercy, dude, you sound like Patrick Knievel.
Yeah.
Well, were you like a motorcycle carny or something before you started hunting?
A motorcycle carny.
It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Do you
still got the karaoke machine? That's all I need to ask.
No, we got rid of that one because there's ways to upgrade that stuff nowadays. But we do still karaoke.
That's awesome. I'll never forget karaoke over there at the house.
I can't believe you can remember karaoke.
Oh yeah,
I got pictures. I got pictures of you passed out in my garage.
Yeah, my voice box is still somewhere over there in the garage, into the microphone.
Oh man,
that was a good time though. That was a really good time.
Yeah, what we'd like to actually. Brandon was saying, some of these stories we can't actually tell because we weren't there. But do you care to tell us another Dan Ray story about the
Yeah.
time that he actually crawled up in a stand and you heard the shot and Dan didn't show
Yeah,
up back at camp?
Yeah, I can. That's a very good story too. I need to write a book.
Yeah.
With a lot of pictures in it, so you can read it up there in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, before
Thanks.
I tell the story though, I will tell you this:
Uh-huh.
some of the best people I've ever met, including y'all, have been from up north. So the difference that I figured out finally, the difference in northern people and southern people is, you know where you stand with northern people, and they stab you in the front. And down here, everybody's your buddy, and they stab you in the back.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yep, that's the truth. Well, it was down here, our doe days, up until probably 2 years ago, every weekend is a doe day here. So my hunting partner and I were going to shoot some does one morning, so we didn't make it hunting that morning. We made it out that evening. So Dan and I told him where to go. I told him, we were going to hunt a specific farm. So I went to a normal tree stand that I'm always in. I sent him in a flagged path, you guys. Y'all need to understand this. A ribboned, flagged path right to the tree. I wasn't sending him on a wild goose chase. This is a specific stand. I mean, it had everything but a strobe light and a beacon call or something to get him to the stand. So we take off, we split up. I walked down there getting my stand. Some does come out. I shot a doe, it started getting dark. And so then I heard, about 10 minutes later, I hear, boom, boom. And I'm like, man, we done doubled up. We're gonna pile him up tonight, so we're all, I'm happy. So I go, I'm waiting on him, and so I walk back up to my truck, and I drive over there, and he never comes out, and it starts getting dark. So I drive back down to where the doe was that I had shot, loaded up in the back of the truck, and I head back up there, and I'm waiting, and he still don't come out, and then it's pitch black dark. Well, if you've been in a Toyota truck and the dome light is on when it's dark outside, you can't see out of your truck. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I start getting my pistol on. I'm like, man, and I've been with him so much, and I know how clutchified he is. I'm like, man, he done shot himself. Either that or he was trying to fire some warning shots because he tripped and got bit by a bunch of snakes. So it's always something with that dude. So I start putting I got putting my hat on, putting my jacket back on, getting my pistol, putting my pistol in my pocket, and open up the door. Well, I can see a flashlight coming out of the woods, and it's like all over the place, like Darth Vader's lightsaber, kind of going everywhere. And I'm like, well, what the hell is he doing? So I shut the door. I'm sitting in the truck, and I shut the door, and the dome light's still on, so I can't see. And so I'm just sitting there waiting, and I'm waiting for him to get there, and I can see the light coming up the thing, He opens the door, and I promise you, it looked like he had fought with Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers at the same time. He was bleeding from the face, holding the scope in one hand, the rifle in another hand. His clothes were completely ripped, like he had smeared, some kind of catnip on him and tried to fight a lion. He was completely tore up. And I'm like, so I jump out of the truck then. I'm like, let's go get him. I thought somebody had jumped on him down in the woods and beat him up, some poachers or something. And he's like, nah. He said, so I'm like, what the heck happened, dude? He's like, well, you got a second? And I'm like, I'm driving. Yeah, I got a second. So apparently he goes down the trail that I sent him down. Well, he decides to veer off and find his own spot. Well, he sees a stand leaning in a tree, and it was probably a 25-foot ladder stand. I almost called it a Mexican ladder stand, but it's a ladder stand basically built out of wood. Right, and the top had a half-inch sheet of plywood and about a 1935 CJ5 Jeep seat in it. Just a metal seat part. So he climbs up in the tree. He decides that's where he's going to hunt because he didn't listen to what I told him. Climbs up in the tree, goes to sleep, which is par for the course. Well, I shot, didn't wake him up. Somebody was hunting about 100 yards off of our property and shot those 2 times I had heard. Well, it scared him. It was so close. It startled him. Well, he jumped up. The gun falls, busts the scope off. Well, the ladder stand isn't even tied to the tree. It was just propped up. It wasn't ratcheted to the tree or anything. So he basically gets slingshotted and pancaked, you know, from about 15 or 20 feet to the ground in a briar thicket, which ripped his clothes up. So he's fumbling around. He finds his rifle. He's fumbling around for the scope that got knocked off. So he finds the scope, and he said he heard the tree stand fell over and hit him in the face, knocked him out. So he's been laying down there in the woods for like 45 minutes, knocked out cold, bleeding. I said, he's like, when are we coming back hunting? I said, as soon as I can buy you a flare gun. You have to start radioing me or shooting flares in the air or something if you get hurt. Look, I went and got certified CPR and like first aid just for that dude. Just for the one guy.
He's an interesting fella. He's actually getting
you need to understand, too, this is probably, we were a lot younger then, too. I mean, this was 10, 15 years ago when we didn't believe in safety harnesses or nothing either. You know, now everybody, you know, it's all about being safe and having a good time. But, you know, back then it was just run out there, jump in the tree stand and unload, you know, start shooting when deer come out. You know, I mean, it's completely different now that we got kids and grandkids and really, really, really big life insurance policies.
I'm thinking if we go on a hunt somewhere, we're going to have to take Dan Ray along just so that we have something interesting happen.
Dude, if you just put like 3 GoPros on him, we won't have to film him or nothing. He'll do it all to himself.
I'm just thinking about that story. I mean, that's a triple whammy. First, he drops his rifle out of the tree and breaks it. Then he falls out, and then the stand knocks him out.
Yeah. He was bleeding, and I've got so many stories about that guy that don't even have nothing to do with hunting. We showed up for a birthday party one time, and the ambulance was there. And I was like, "What?" So I come jumping out of the truck, run over there. I'm like, "What happened?"
They're
well,
on
they had
standby.
bought his son. Yeah, they bought his son a little red rail. I guess you like hop up on your skateboard. I'm not a big skateboarder, but I guess you hop on your skateboard and you slide down the rail. You know what I'm talking? I guess Brandon might know what I'm talking about. But
Well, I'm not a skateboarder, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
so he gets his son. Now, mind you, he's 5'9", probably 235, 240. I mean, he's a big built dude. You know, he's not a tiny dude by no means. So he gets the BMX Huffy, which is probably the weight rating on it's probably about 60 pounds. Besides, he's going to teach his son the bunny hop. So he rides up to this rail and makes about half of the first tire over. Ends up going up on the front wheel. The handlebars spin. There's no handle grip on the handlebar. Oh, he impaled himself on the handlebars. Literally stuck himself in the stomach, impaled himself with the handlebar.
This guy needs to be put in a padded room.
We're definitely
Dude,
taking him along.
He is definitely entertaining, dude.
You think he'd go to Africa with us?
He is, no, probably not. Well, I don't know, man. He might. He's a big gun. I mean, he loves, his thing's gun hunting. He'll bow hunt some, you know, right here at the beginning of the season till muzzleloader hunting still starts. But he's a big gun hunter. He probably goes.
How about you? You know, I know you don't like planes, but would you go?
As soon as I get a road over there, I will. It'll be a very, very, very big bridge.
Well, we can get you some medication and get you knocked out, put you to sleep, and get you over there.
I tried that, and it was literally like a 45-minute flight, and I looked like one of the Taliban. I was sweating so bad. People were scared of me. You know, people were absolutely scared to death of me. The last time I flew, I did, you know, I get to the airport. We were flying to Detroit. We were woodcock and grouse hunting up in, I think it was Alpena, somewhere up that way, and we flew into Detroit. And that was my last flight right there. Either that was my last airport, one of the two. You know, but I'm too much like B.A. Baracus from the A-Team.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to have to break it off here, but we're going to ask you if maybe we have to have you call in quite a bit more here, Russ, so we can talk
just holler at me and let me know. I mean, like I said, the days I'm here, I don't mind. I mean, with hunting season coming up, you know how that is.
Yeah, well, we're interested in your hunting adventures, so
I'll definitely let you know how that goes. We got a pretty good piece of property now. kind of south of here, down on Lake Russell. So
Sounds good.
They killed 8. They killed 8 bucks last year that made the state book here,
Wow.
which is I believe it's got to be 130 with a bow.
Well, that's good.
So we had a pretty good year last year.
All right.
That's good for South Carolina. So,
Yes, it is.
well, good luck with your hunting, and we'll check back with you here probably next week or so. So,
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling me. Good to talk to both of you too, Brandon.
Absolutely,
bet.
man. Good to hear from you. Stay safe.
take care, Russ.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back after a couple of quick messages here.
Tired of the hot summer heat? Time to get those ACs working. Head on in to Thunder Lube at their new location, 1015 South 17th Avenue in Wausau. Thunder Lube is a full-service center handling tires, brakes, exhaust, tune-ups, and much more. No appointment needed for oil changes. Get a punch card when you get a full service and get your 10th service free. That's Thunder Lube, complete auto service center, South 17th Avenue in Wausau.
Rejection is one of our biggest fears. As humans, our greatest need is to be accepted. So when Ben walked into Jim Krishock Jewelers and met with Jody, he was looking for someone to accept him. You see, Ben was head over heels in love with Amanda, and he wanted to give her the diamond engagement ring of her dreams. But he didn't feel good about his credit, and he didn't feel good about a past jewelry shopping experience where another jeweler wouldn't even give him the time of day. But Jody had a different attitude. Instead, she went right to work on getting a credit application filled out. And before he knew it, he was approved for, well, a lot more than he thought he would be. That's total acceptance. So Jody walked him over to the diamond case, and he picked out the ring that would knock Amanda off her feet. We're Jim Krishock Jewelers, and when you walk in here, you know you'll find it. And you'll be accepted. We're in front of Best Buy on Rib Mountain Drive, and nobody does I do like we do.
Well, Brandon, you know what I can use after a long day out in the woods?
Yeah, good massage from These Hands Massage Therapy.
That's right. Massage isn't just for relaxation either. It's a health advantage. They work on rotator cuff injuries, low back, neck, sciatica, and lots of other injuries.
That's great for guys with a long list of injuries like you, and you can get a gift card for someone as well.
Yep. And mention the Big E radio show, you get $10 off your massage. They're open Monday through Saturday by appointment. These Hands Massage Therapy on 17th Avenue by Walgreens in Wausau.
Hey, it's Mike with Auto Trim and Sign here in Wausau. You already know we do the fun stuff on vehicles. We can also help your business, whether it's simple lettering, company decals, or even a vehicle wrap. Auto Trim and Sign can design and install graphics perfect for your business. Your car, truck, trailer, big rig, or your company's entire fleet will be in good hands. Check out our website, autotrimofwausau.com, or call us at 715-842-9114.
Hey, we're back after an interesting segment or two there with our good friend Russ Armstrong from South Carolina, from Anderson, South Carolina down there.
Yeah.
He lives in the home of the Clemson Tigers down there. And that's a pretty solid college area as well. They're, I'll tell you what, you go to one of their college games and the Clemson Tigers fans are pretty hardy. They're kind of like our Badger fans. You go in there, it's all orange, sea of orange, and they know how to tailgate party too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We've been to a couple of the games in that neck of the woods, and in fact, Brandon, we used to go down there and do some karaoke DJing or KJing or whatever at some of the college bars down there.
Yeah, Shadow of the Valley.
Is that what that was called?
Yeah. I don't know if it's still open anymore.
Well, they had good wings. I know that.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Oh, they had really good wings. They had some. I like hot sauces, and they had some hot sauce there. You actually had to sign a waiver for. And
yeah, it was that good.
Yeah.
So
it was hot. It was really hot.
It was so hot. So it doesn't sound to me like we're going to get Russ to go on any trips overseas with us, huh?
I don't think he really wants to fly.
No. Well, we might be able to find somewhere where we could give him a shot or get him some kind of medication that'd knock him out, but we'd have to keep him knocked out, sounds like. I don't know if it's legal to take anybody on a plane that's knocked out, though. They have to be conscious enough to walk on, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible. They have to walk on under their own will. So. I don't know how that works. Then you could knock him out.
Yeah, knock him out once he's on the plane.
Yeah.
You can have him pass out before the plane takes off.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
It can't be that bad. Could put him in our baggage. He's small enough.
Somewhere along that 18-hour flight,
he's going to wake up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And where do you land when you're over the Atlantic Ocean? I mean, where
you just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, hey, buddy, you're on a plane. There's nothing around us but water, so you got two choices right now.
Cuff them, tie them up in the back.
Either chill out or get out.
Oh, man.
Oh, that could be another episode in itself right there. What do you think about that Dan Ray guy? Do we actually know anybody else like that in our group?
I don't think I know anybody who's as accident prone as that guy. Oh, man.
He's actually an interesting character.
Did he go out to Wyoming with us?
No.
That was Sean Ray.
That was his brother, yeah, Sean. Sean is his brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Sean seemed pretty decent. I mean, he was nothing like his brother. There was no accidents out there.
No, there wasn't.
But, wow.
Yeah.
Why do they all have two first names?
That's kind of a southern thing. I don't know if you could, but the southern deal is everybody has two first names, like Billy Bob, Jim Bob, Dan Ray, Sean Ray.
Mm.
Hey, you look like you were going to come up with another one there, but you drew
Brandon Lee.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what.
Well, I got two first names, Brandon, Patrick.
Yeah, but that's your first name and your middle name. Like their last name is. I don't know. It's kind of a weird deal down there.
Oh, so Ray is his last name.
Yeah.
Oh, that changes things. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, but did you hear what it takes to make the book down there for their deer? 130 inches.
Yeah, for archery.
Yeah. It's small.
Yeah.
Because their deer just don't get that big down there. And Florida's even worse. Florida deer are real small.
Why is that?
Their deer they're small. It's the hotter the climate, the smaller the deer are. They just don't get big. They're very small. The bodies are small. The horns are small. And in South Carolina, the horns are real spindly too. They're like, they don't get the mass that our deer get, even if they get old. Like you'll get a 5-year-old deer in South Carolina, his horns are real thin.
So hence, that would be why you see, let's just pick on reindeer, are only, you find them in northern Scandinavia then.
That's different species.
I understand that, but they're also a larger species and they're in a very cold climate.
Yeah. But that's why, like, as you go up into Canada, the white-tailed deer are fatter and they have heavier horn mass. A deer like that would die of a heart attack in the South because of the heat. Can't live down there.
So would I.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that if you look at how the like in the deer industry where the captive deer, the deer farms and stuff, for a while they were trying to take Wisconsin deer like down to Texas and places like that. They didn't do so well. A lot of those deer, they would move them down there, and they would take these great big monster deer, and they would die. They can't handle the heat. So they can take the genetics through, semen and do AI and stuff like that, and sometimes that'll work. But I'm not saying 100% of them will die. They just don't do so well because that big body mass, they just can't live.
Because they don't.
Animals adapt to the environment.
Right.
That they
I
live
was just going to say, do deer sweat, or are they more along the lines of like a canine where they expel their heat out by their breathing.
No, they don't sweat. I've never seen one working out, but no. No, they don't. No, they don't sweat. They do it. That's why you see them with their mouths open. They do it by breathing. Yeah.
Do the pigs sweat?
I've seen them down at Snap. I've seen them sweating pretty bad down there.
Oh boy.
No, actually, no, I don't think pigs sweat either. I don't know. I'm not an expert on animal.
What? You're not a
perspiration.
biologist?
No.
You're just a hunterologist?
I'm a hunter and an eatologist. I eat what I kill, unless it's a predator. I eat those whose eyes are on the side of their head.
Not going to touch that one.
Things with eyes in the front of their head are predators. Think about that. Things with eyes on the side of their head are animals of food.
And what about the ones with eyes in the back of their head?
That'd be your wife. Or your school teacher.
The look on Brandon's face right now is...
Or your mother-in-law. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
He's trying to come up with a way to say something
No,
that
he's
will not
trying to-
offend Megan.
Yeah. Hey, dude, you're already in trouble just for associating with me.
Oh boy.
Look at it this way, Brandon. We got 15
hey,
seconds.
My grandson actually came and asked me that he was up here, and he said, Papa, do teachers really have eyes all around their heads? And it was because his teacher in school must have said that, I can see you, I have eyes in the back of my head. So he already asked that question. I said, yes, apparently all women do. And with that, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Biggie Outdoor Radio.
When you're cruising down the road and watching wheels astray, call B.I.B. Auto Body night or day.
Whether you had a run-in with a deer or something a little bigger, BRB Auto Body can make your car look like it just rolled off the assembly line. BRB Auto Body specializes in complete body and paint repair, fiberglass repair, and custom painting. At BRB Auto Body, you'll receive a complimentary loaner car while yours is being repaired. Plus, you can have pictures of your vehicle's progress emailed to you on a daily basis. BRB Auto Body also offers 24-hour towing and roadside assistance at 359-9792. The next time you need auto body repair, choose BRB Auto Body, located just 1/2 mile past the Cedar Creek Mall on Highway XX in Rothschild, and online at brbautobodyinc.com.
Expect a quality job from B.R.B. Auto Body, B.R.B. Auto Body, B.R.B. Auto Body.
Biggie Outdoors, located at Cedar Creek, is reopening its doors soon after its new remodeling. Home to the area's first and only big game hunting museum, with educational exhibits displaying animals from around the world and facts around the hunters' contributions to their survival. Pick up some unique souvenirs and gifts from the museum and from the Big E TV shows. Meet the pro staff from Big E TV and Big E Outdoor Radio. A great place to stop in with the whole family. And while you're there, book your next hunting trip with the Big E Outdoors Professional Hunters. With over 21 personal hunting destinations worldwide, you'll be sure to find a quality getaway with the Big E Outdoors destinations. Big E Outdoors is also home to Adrenaline Hydrographic. Check us out online at BigEOutfitters.com and register to win a free hunt. Big E Outdoors at Cedar Creek. This segment of Big E Outdoors is brought to you by Snap Fitness of Wausau. It's time to get in shape, and Snap Fitness is the right place to do it. With 2 locations in Weston and Wausau, you're never far from a Snap Fitness. Open 24/7 for members with clean and well-maintained equipment. Check out their new location across from Fleet Farm on Wausau's north side, with all new machines and equipment. Sign up for some classes or training. Pick up the supplements you need and take advantage of the monthly deals and sign-up specials they have going on now. The staff at Snap Fitness is waiting for you to assist you in any way they can. So head on down to Snap Fitness today and get signed up.
Oh, I just had to sit there and listen to that music. It sounds like football day today. Go. Packers will be whooping the smoke out of the Bears today. It's a bad day to be a Bear fan.
Well, I think every Sunday is a bad day to be a Bear fan.
When does Bears season open?
Today.
Today.
Today, if you're a Packer fan.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. It's
Cutler will cry.
Yeah. Well, he does all the time.
That's right.
I think he cries every time they tell him you're in.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Yeah. So, Biggie Outdoor Radio is going to be spreading out to a couple other stations, so we're going to be heading a little bit further south.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's a good thing. We're going to be heading into Badger territory soon.
Oh, yeah. Bucky territory.
Yeah.
That's right.
But how's the Badgers been doing anyway?
They didn't.
We lost to Alabama.
They lost.
I didn't even want to.
Yeah, they lost to Alabama, and then
I knew that was going to happen.
The last time I saw the score yesterday, it was 51-0 against Miami of Ohio. Huh. And I know it was a shutout, so they may have scored some more points after that, but I do not know.
Yeah. I knew that the Alabama game wasn't going to be good. I'm sorry to say.
That was the only top 25 matchup of the opener.
Really?
Yep.
It's one of them deals that, as much as I want to be a fan and be one of them good fans, I'm also realistic. Don't look at me like that.
How does that make you a good fan?
You can be a good fan and be realistic.
Well, realistically, we still could have won that game.
Not going to happen. Alabama's pretty tough.
You're not a fan then. You're just, I don't know what to call you.
Think about it. That'd be like if somebody was a fan of Eric Almirola, and you say, oh, yeah, I'm a fan of him, but I sure hope he wins the chase. Let's be realistic.
Hey, anything can happen.
That's right.
I think I'm more realistic than you are. You're just one of them. No hope.
You're a fantasy believer.
Oh,
you
boy.
play fantasy football and fantasy whatever NASCAR.
No, but I should play DraftKings.
Yeah. I don't even know what that's all about. How's your fantasy league going anyway?
I don't know. I'll find out today.
You find out today?
Yep, I'll find out today if I win my first game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to fire up the grill and get us some good old... well, we can't get the Johnsonville brats going because we have our own homemade wild boar brats. What are you looking at me like that for? You're the one that's going to cook them.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm going to be too busy swearing at the TV all day.
There won't be anything to swear about. It's going to be a good game.
Well, no, I'll be following all the games.
And speaking of a good old Bears game, a couple weeks ago I stopped in at our favorite Bears fan.
Oh, yeah. Saw Rudy and Donna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to kind of give him a little text today and let him know that we'll be thinking of him. Should maybe send him some
flowers,
pre-game condolences.
Yeah.
Hey, you went up north Muddin.
Muddin, yeah.
You went up Muddin, checking out the bear stuff and the bear hunting and that. How long will the guys up there be running black bears up there?
Till they're done.
No, how long is the season?
I honestly don't know.
Is it 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
I didn't pay attention.
We need to get up there and film that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
That'd be
last year you filmed, but I don't think you got a kill Did you?
Actually, it was 2 years ago I filmed.
2 years
up
ago.
there. Yeah.
We didn't get a film on a Wisconsin bear hunt.
I think actually I do have one.
You
I
do?
have a kill on there.
Okay. That'll be good to do. It just blows me away that in Wisconsin, as many bears as we have, that it takes so long for a resident to draw a tag.
Yeah.
It's still, it's kind of like that Florida thing. They've got bears all over the place, and they're getting into everything, and then they finally now opened up the season down there. And we have the same issue going on here in Wisconsin, where we've got bears everywhere. You can't, I don't know how the DNR puts their numbers on things or whatever, but drive around up north. There should be no reason that a Wisconsin resident has to take 6 to 8 years to get a tag to go hunt a bear, if you want to hunt a bear.
Yeah, that's well, I was talking to the guy who called in last week, Joe. The first day they sat, he had the guy he was sitting with shot a 300-pounder. Before he shot
that's a good bear.
Before he shot that, they had 4 or 5 other bears come in. And then, not too far from them, there was his son was sitting with another guy and his daughter. His 11-year-old daughter was hunting. Mm-hmm. And she shot a bear too, and I think they saw a couple of them that day. So there's
when you're sitting and seeing multiple bears on a bait
in one bait, yeah.
We hunt in places like in Canada where you can get a bear tag every year, and sometimes in a lot of these places you can get 2 bears.
Yeah.
And to see a bear a day coming into your bait is a good day. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll see multiples, but you'll see more than that here in Wisconsin. So there should, I can understand if you wanted to have a draw to be able to run them with a dog or to be able to hunt with a dog, that's one thing. But for a resident to be able to draw a tag to sit, to hunt them out of a bow stand or to hunt them, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to buy that tag just like you do your archery tag for deer, because there's plenty of bears.
Yeah.
And what in the world would they be cultivating them for anyway? A predator like that is just eating deer. But I think they're going to have other problems coming up now that they stopped hunting the wolves.
Yeah.
You give that about 2-3 years, and they're going to be wishing they never stocked those things in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're going to have other issues. This whole DNR thing is going to become a hot button here real soon. So I kind of can't wait to hear the consensus on the wolf situation from the bear hunters after this year's over.
Well, I actually am looking forward to next week. Maybe we'll have some people calling in, talking about their deer stories from the opener weekend, but not just the deer stories. How many people are out there sitting on their deer stands and seeing wolves come in?
Right. So. And this year won't be. It's still going to be an issue this year, but you got to remember we still had wolf season last year.
Yeah.
Okay, now give it a year without.
The numbers still rose even though we had a wolf season last year.
Correct. But now give it a year without a wolf season.
It's gonna spike drastically, I think.
And then let's talk about this next year and see what everybody has to say.
Yeah.
You give it 2 years without a season.
Well, I can already tell you what the DNR is going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they didn't really jump that much.
It didn't jump that much. It's maintaining.
Bull.
And they're talking about this other elk herd now that they just got going and
started introducing them from Kentucky.
They might as well forget that because these wolves are going to wipe that out in no time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that stuff's going to just disappear, and all their content. We're wasting money with our DNR right now. The way I look at it.
Yeah.
Because they don't. On one hand, they try one thing, and on the other hand, they counteract it with another. And it seems like they got a bunch of people in there that just, in my mind, have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then they have a division of guys running around in trucks out there that also have no idea what they're doing. So it's we're wasting a lot of taxpayer dollars out there with the Department of Natural Resources.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that we don't need to have laws and we don't need to have guys out there enforcing the laws, but they try one thing and then they got bureaucrats in the office doing, they want this, and then this guy over here wants this, and this guy over here is supposed to enforce this law, and it's all counteracting. It doesn't make any sense. They've kind of taken it away from the warden being able to use any common sense. I really think what they need to have is every county, the game warden ought to be an officer of the county sheriff's department.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
Yep. You see now you can actually register your, you can download an app and you can register your game online or, with this application you can put on your cell phone.
Register your game?
Yeah. You don't have to take it into the station anymore or to get it registered. Your bear or deer or anything like that in Wisconsin.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. What it is you they have a spot on the license where you can write in a confirmation number.
Yeah.
You can take a picture of it or however that is, and it shows that the animal is or that it's tagged or whatever, and it gives you a number that you can write down on the tag that shows that it was registered.
Oh, Lord. We'll talk about this next week because this is just a fine waiting to happen right there. That's a pinch.
Yeah.
I'm taking it to a registration station just to be safe.
Well, yeah. You got to go into town and go to the bar and brag anyways, right?
Yeah, we're going to wrap this up, and we'll talk to you all next week with some more Biggie Outdoor Radio. Thanks for listening, and everybody have a great and safe week.